All right, what's going on, guys? I have on a special guest today. I'm going to let him introduce himself, but you guys know me, the body architect, Ken Flash Ebanks from the Performance Lab. I made this gentleman here introduce himself.
All right, guys, my name is Nigel Paul, super heavyweight boxer for Trinidad and Tobago. I am an Olympian, recently bronze medalist at the World Boxing Championships for IVA. Caribbean champion, national champion, just trying to make history.
There we go. So we got a star amongst us today. Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. All right, so I do want to ask you a question. First and foremost, right? You've done a lot in your career, you've accomplished a lot, but I got a bigger question than that. I want to know right from the get-go, right from the start, how did you get into boxing? Tell me how you got into boxing.
Me getting into boxing, it just kind of happened.
Okay.
Where I'm from in Trinidad, Trinidad and Tobago, what most people would consider like a hotspot, a crime-riddled area.
Okay.
And you know, going down to the play field, basketball court, football grounds, most evenings, the sweat or the game might finish in a fist fight. Most evenings. And then the older we get, it graduated from fists to knives to guns. And me being, you know, a Christian, growing up in a Christian home, I didn't really have access to guns, and at the same time, I didn't want to go down that path. I just wanted to learn to defend myself and my younger brother, because most of the time it would be us heading down to the field, just saying, you know, gets to get a sweat. And I stumbled into a boxing gym because I wanted to learn some self-defense. If not for me, for my younger brother, because we always together. And went into a boxing gym, started learning self-defense, and was good at it, and one thing led to the next.
And that was it.
Yep.
That was it. You found yourself as an Olympian.
Yeah, man.
How many years later?
I was at the Rio Olympics 10 months after initially competing.
Wow.
But I went to the boxing gym like around 17, 18. And because of school and work, I kind of let go of the sport for a while. And I picked it back up at the age 26.
So 10 months after you got back in, on a serious note, you find yourself in the Olympics.
Yeah, 10 months after, 10 fights and Olympics.
I have to say that is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's impressive, that's crazy,
Yeah,
that's
man.
amazing. A lot of words to sum that up.
Yeah, for real.
So how is it then, I want to ask a question, explain to me then, what it's like being an Olympian, being an elite boxer, as you said earlier, also being a bronze medalist for the AIBA World Championship. Explain to me what that life is like.
First, for me, just representing the country, representing the Caribbean is an honor, it's a pleasure to do that, because when you get into any sport, that's a dream. You aspire to do that, to represent at the highest level. And being given the opportunity to do that, it's a blessing. It's very humbling to me to have that opportunity to do that. But the life of an elite athlete isn't easy at all. A lot of people would just think that we wake up, we go to the gym, we play around, and we head back home. I respect each and every athlete who competes at this level, whether it be boxing, track and field, Muay Thai, karate, any discipline, because it's a different mental that you have to wear, that you have to put on every day, because we wake up. I know for myself, I get up at 4:30 every morning, and if it's not a training session, I go running. And most of my coaches of 5K, 3 miles is minimum, even on a days off. Right? So to wake up and run that every day, and then the strict diets, and then the workout routines, and then the change of diets, according to how close the competition is a lot. And not only that, a lot of the general public will look at you and say, you're not good, you're not ready. And you as an athlete have to deal with this. You still have to go out there and represent the same people that will bad talk you or ridicule you.
You gotta go out and represent for them.
You understand? So it takes a lot to be an elite athlete, mentally and physically. So it's a tough job.
I can definitely hear it is, and you brought back a few memories
Yeah,
for me there.
for sure.
I've been to those competitions
Yeah,
also.
yeah. Yeah, man.
We've been in at different times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, I know exactly what it is a full-time job
Yep.
to be able to compete at an elite level. It's
Yep,
not
for real.
if you really want to perform at top, you're unable to go and have a 9 to 5 because your 9 to 5 is that
Yeah.
boxing, is that Friday, whatever elite sport you are in. Because if not, you're not going to perform at the highest level. You're
it's
not
very
going to
true.
get the results that you want.
That's
right?
true. That's
Because,
true.
yeah.
I've initially I tried, you know, boxing and working,
Yeah.
but then it really it takes a toll on you after a while.
Yeah.
Because well, outside of boxing, I worked as a graphic designer. I worked in a couple of media houses back in Trinidad. I did camera work, editing, photography, videography, graphic designs, and I would be falling asleep at work because you know it's not something active. They walking around here at a desk editing, right? So I'll be most of the time sleeping on work, looking bad. Like I can't do this.
And a lot of that comes from the training regimen that
Yeah,
you go to. You're up at 4:30
running
in the morning.
Yeah,
you're training or you're running, and then you got to train again after.
For real.
And I'm sure sometimes you probably end up maybe in a third session.
Yeah,
for the day.
3 a day sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes they call for that, so
Yeah,
you got to do it.
Yeah. So it's a lot of physical discipline. Now I want to ask you the question: what do you find hard? Do you find it physically harder or mentally harder to really stay and operate at that high level?
I would say definitely mentally tougher. Mentally, because your body can adjust and adapt to anything.
Yeah.
You could be, because when I initially started, when I was 26, 25 going on 26, I was 350 pounds.
Yeah.
And working with my coaches back then, well, Floyd Trumpet, gradually we worked and we got the weight off because I could have boxed. I used to play basketball, so I could have moved a bit.
Yeah.
And he just needed me to be fight ready.
Yeah.
But going home sore and beaten up and being able to come back out the next day at 4 or 5 a.m. every day, it takes a different kind of mental fortitude to do that. So mentally, for sure, I think it's tougher mentally. I mean, your body could adjust to anything. We see that once you put your mind to it, your body will follow.
Yeah, and I guess you can say then, how can you take those same examples that you just put through on boxing and how you have to dig deep and how you have to adjust and your body can adjust it. I think you can take those same things and put into life, whether that's know, your work, whether that's in things you want to accomplish, whether that's maybe a new business, anything you want to get done, right?
For me, everything I apply myself to, I want to be the best at it.
Yeah.
Whether it be work, recreation, boxing, anything. If I tell myself, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I am going to do this 100%. I'm not checking it out. I'm not cutting corners. I am doing this 100%. And a lot of people look at my success and some say I'm lucky. Some say, you know, just get an easy ticket. But the amount of work that I put in for 1 year, Trumpet told me, okay, you came in kind of late. You're already 26. You're old for being an athlete, right? Olympics is a little less than 11 months away. So you need to cram 4 years of work, which is the Olympic cycle, into 1 year.
Yeah, that's amazing. First of all,
you understand? So to just be able to do that and go to Olympic qualifiers and qualify for me was something. It really was.
And I could definitely say that is quite the achievement because, exactly, jamming 4 years into roughly a year is a very tough and monumental task because, again, I mean, as you said, people said that you're lucky, but that's untrue to say because the guys that you were fighting against are the best in their country or the best in the world. You don't get through with luck.
And the thing about it in boxing, we have, you know boxing, it's buys and going through different rounds. On the team at that point in time, I was the only boxer that didn't get a buy.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, what? Obviously not knowing the ins and outs of the sports totally, I was like, okay, I didn't want to buy. But understanding the sport now, I was like, could I really do without buy?
You know? Same thing in my career. I never ever got a buy.
Whoa, boy.
I never get a buy.
Yeah, so for me,
I always do it one.
coaches always told me specifically, don't focus on the bike. You go to the tournament, how much fights to a medal, that's how much we plan to fight.
Exactly.
Don't try to wish or pray that you have it easy.
Yeah.
You go to five, 6 fights, you're going to fight 5 or 6 fights. Put that in your mental. So that's why I went out.
And that's such a good mindset to have, right? Because you got that goal right at the top of the hill. So you guys are preparing to attack the hill head on.
Yep.
Whether that's 5 fights to the goal, whether that's 4 to the goal, that's what you're preparing for. You're preparing for 5, you're preparing for whatever that number is, compared to thinking, hey, I want to take the shortcut in life.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to get the easy route. Hey, I want to get the blind that will skip me one. Yeah, it's nice to, but you guys are preparing to tackle it head on.
Head on, man. Head on.
Head on, always.
Yep.
So I want you to also describe to me what it was like winning that bronze medal in the World Championships, because you're the first man from the Caribbean to win a gold now, right? Yeah, first man from the Caribbean to win a gold. So
Bronze.
Sorry,
What is an actual
bronze.
first medal for the Caribbean in a World
In
Championship?
the Worlds,
Yeah.
correct. In the Worlds, correct.
The story behind that medal for me is kind of funny because at Rio Olympics, I got knocked out in the first round of my fight against a fighter from Nigeria, F.A. Ajagba. He's a heavy hitter, power puncher, and inexperienced. I was in the wrong place in the fight. Saw the open shot, took it, I was out like a light. So my drive was to go back to the Olympics and not rectify that, but do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to show that, okay, the first time wasn't a fluke, or the first time wasn't, by the way, a chance happening. And because of COVID, the Olympic qualifiers for the Americas keep getting postponed and relocated and cancelled. Eventually, they just selected the top boxers from the region, top 5, top 3, top 4 in respective weight classes. And because I hadn't won a Pan Am medal, before Pan American Games, I was ranked 3rd in the region. And after the Pan Am, I didn't win a Pan Am medal, so I dropped back to 5th. And in my division, they took the top 4.
Oh, you just missed it then.
But I was mad.
I was gonna ask.
I was upset. I was crazy. I was vexed because, I mean, the team was at least saying, okay, Paul will be inside. At the time, Michael Alexander was for sure inside. So, you know, I was training hard. I was preparing as to the Tokyo Olympics. And then to hear, the heartbreaking news that you're not going. Most people would have just take the time off and I would say grieve, right? But that it did something to me. It kind of light a fire in me. And I started to train harder because I was like, okay, I'm not going to Olympics. What's next? And the coaches say World Championships. I was like, I have to make the podium at the World Championships. Because for me, it was just to go back to the Olympics and win a fight, because the history of boxing in Trinidad for the amateurs is we haven't won one fight at the Olympic. So I set small attainable goals, and when I get that, step further and further. So for me, it was just to clear that hurdle of winning a fight at the Olympics for Trinidad. And the World Championships that went before, myself and Michael Alexander, we had made history where he won 2 fights and I had won 1.
I do remember
in the respective weight classes, and we made a deal. It's like, when we come back, we're going to medal from that World Championships. It's when we come back to the next World Championships, we're going to win a medal. And unfortunately, Michael, he got into a vehicle accident. He rides the motorcycle, so it was pretty bad. And when he kind of came around and spoke to me, he's like, yo, remember the deal.
Exactly.
You have to
Michael's
go back.
Holding you accountable
I'm
also holding you accountable.
I mean, I respect that.
The whole
Michael
Caribbean is holding you accountable.
It's like, remember that deal we made? So I know for a fact I had to go back to the World Championships, missing out on the Olympic opportunity. I had to go to the World Championships and win a medal. At the World Championships, going through the rounds, looking good, feeling good, the fight that would have got me the medal, which was, once I had won that fight, I was guaranteed a medal. Between the dressing room to the ring, I don't know what happened. I was out of it. Mentally, I was gone. And thinking back, I really can't explain what happened to me. And in the ring, went to the first round was like crap. You could see I was out of it.
Yeah.
I was
Let me jump in real quick. Ask, who were you fighting against?
Turkey.
Turkey. Okay.
Turkish boxer. Pretty simple fight. I'm the taller opponent. Just used my reach, keep him out, and I wasn't doing anything correct in the first round. And at the end of the first round, the coach sat me down in the corner and he's like, "We here. This is why we train for this moment.
Yeah, to get that.
Come back." And that was all I needed.
Yeah.
That snap back, yo, we here. Wake up. You're at the moment that you train for.
Exactly.
This is the fight to guarantee you a medal. And the second round, I came out there like a monster. I just hands down because I gave away the first round.
Yeah.
So I know I needed the second and the third to win the fight and clear victory.
Yeah.
Won the fight, was guaranteed a medal, and that was history for the country and for the Caribbean.
Yeah. I was just going to throw that part after the Caribbean because, during, and let me jump to the camera and say, whenever we have big competitions, AIBA Worlds, Continental, anything, the Caribbean always comes together. We come together as one team, one unit, come together as West Indies, whether it's Trinidad fight, whether it's Cape Town, whether it's Barbados, Bahamas, whichever team's fighting.
Enough support. I could have heard the coaches from the other countries just
cheering you on.
Belching out instructions, and I mean, you really feel the energy from the Caribbean. We try to go to every fight. Once your Caribbean counterpart competing, we go out in numbers because usually they don't send a lot of us to these major events. It's like 2 from Trinidad, 3 from there, 2 from there. So we try to band together and really support. So it was really appreciated.
And the support makes such a huge feeling and vibe and difference, right? Because you got these big countries that are there, you got
full teams
behind them, full teams, crowd, supporters in the crowd.
Yeah.
So us in the Caribbean, we stick together, we make a unit, we make a family.
Yeah, man.
And you get the support.
For real.
It's a beautiful feeling.
True.
Feeling. What has been your favorite games to date?
Favorite games?
Whether that's huge game, whether that's small, it could be even a show fight.
I thinking back at a significant game for me where I won bronze at Continentals. I think that was 2017. I won bronze, and for me, it was my favorite game for one reason, that one of the toughest fights I had. My coaches. As a boxer, you go into the ring and the coaches, most coaches they hype, they in the moment, they tell you do this, do that, and at that event, the coach was like, "You're doing really well." It's like it's the first time you're boxing, so I was in the corner like, "What? No instructions?" Like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. And for me, I felt at that point I could box, like. I could actually do this thing because
build your confidence right from that round.
And it wasn't because, and I actually lost that fight, split decision, and the crowd was mad, but it was a really good fight.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, "This is a fight where you didn't win, but they were actually pleased with the fight. They wasn't pleased with the results, obviously, but it was one of my best fights ever. And for me, that was my, selfish little favorite moment in boxing because my corner was pleased. Most of the time when I go to a fight, I would say, "Paul, wake up, Paul, come use that jab," this and that, whatever the case is. But in that fight, it was like, "You're doing everything correct. Keep doing what you're doing." So that was my favorite moment.
Would you consider that a defining moment in your career?
For sure. For me, it was not necessarily searching for that validation, but you want that feeling again, where you go out, you execute, and your corner is happy with what you're doing. Because most of the time for me, the downside to my boxing or me competing is I start really slow. And I have the condition, I have the know-how to carry the fight. So most of the time, because I either lose or win on split, is because I start slow. So the corner will have to do whatever they have to do to wake me up. "Come on, Paul, you need this wrong," whatever the case is. But to actually have the coaches say, "That's a good wrong. Keep doing that." go back out there, like necessarily no instruction, just give you water, revive you, and send you back
right
out.
thing. They want you to just keep doing what you were doing.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, yeah, is winning the corner.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you.
No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense. I mean, because I can just go back to my career real quick and think also when I would come out to my corner, and I'm not sure if you ever met my coach Norman.
Yeah, as my coach.
Right? Yeah, Coach Norman, he was a big part of the
Yeah.
when I was able to come out to him in the corner, and he was, because he's a hard guy to please,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah, hard guy.
Trust
to
me,
please.
I know.
So being able to go back in the corner and again get those same type of vibes, right? Hey, great round, just keep doing what you're doing. That is a great feeling, because the training is paying off. You are listening. We are sticking right to the game plan that we train for and that we plan for. Right?
Side note with Norman, a lot of people don't know. Well, I call him my coach because before the Olympic qualifiers, I went to Sweden. He had a heavyweight camp.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he and Trumpet sat down and they talked about the vision, about getting me to the Olympics. And this man trained me so hard. He had people in the gym in Sweden crying for me. Because his method to get me to use my hand was 6 to 8 punches.
Yeah.
And if I don't throw 6 to 8 punches, I have 20 push-ups in sparring.
Wow. Norman is something else.
And people were like, why are you doing this? Why you training him this hard? And he was like, he knows.
Norman knows his thing.
I tell me, heavyweight, you're going to the Olympics. You talk, right? And at the games, he was at the qualifiers, and he never spoke to me at the qualifiers. He would just watch me, the look, and walk off. And when I qualified, he was like 6 and 8. I was like, yeah, coach, 6 and 8.
That's right.
Norman, happy birthday to him. I think his birthday was.
Yeah, a short while ago.
So happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Norman. Happy belated, we should say.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, much love to Norman. Norman, through my career, through Charles, through Tafari's career, Carl, Carl's career, Rashid's career, your career. He's always showing a lot of love to us. So, gotta show some love back to him.
For sure.
He's a visionary, great coach, amazing at what he does. And himself, Floyd.
Yep.
We have some amazing coaches here in the Caribbean that has, helped us throughout our careers and bring in those after us.
True. For real.
And it allows me to jump in and say something, right? How you set such a great pace, such a great tone with what you've accomplished in your career. Now you'll have others coming after you, right? And especially coming, as you said, growing up, there's a lot of violence, it's a hot place.
Yeah.
Would you recommend boxing to those coming after you?
Most definitely. For me, the discipline that you get from boxing, from any sport, but for me specifically from boxing, knowing the art of combat. Now there are some people that will know how to fight and use it the wrong way.
Wrong reasons.
But then when you have that knowledge and then maturity comes in, you really see a change in a person's behavior, the temperament. For me especially, I was a hothead. I like to fight. So I went to learn to fight. And by me learning to fight, I realized that I can't really use this on you because I can hurt you.
Exactly.
So I literally preach that to the youths in my area at Enterprise back in Trinidad. When you know you could do something, then you really see somebody's character. Because if I know I can't fight, I would want to fight.
Very true.
But if I know I could fight, I would want to fight you.
Calm, relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, you really see it. I saw it in myself, and a lot of people around me saw the change in me from competing and training, and the level of discipline I had from the sport, bringing it back into my personal life. So I would really recommend it for any young person, especially the ones with that high temper. Yeah.
So really be able to help with their discipline, help with their focus, give them a path, a direction.
Yep. That's what most young people really just need that guidance, that direction, something that they could express themselves in, something to call their own. Because for me, boxing was something I could go to the gym, I had a hard day, I had a frustrating day, go to the gym, take it out on the bag, as opposed to lashing out at people and that kind of thing. You know, you really pour yourself into that,
Yeah, that
right?
crowd.
And it really helps. It levels you out, man, for real.
For sure. Now, I got about 2 more questions for you,
Sure,
right?
no problem.
Would you say boxing is just, who's boxing for? That's the better question I have. Who is boxing for?
I will say like Norman says it, boxing is not for everybody. Boxing isn't for everybody. I mean, it's a lovely sport.
Yeah.
It is to me, if you're looking to get in shape, if you're looking to lose weight, boxing is a total body workout. It's a bit harsh on you if you're not sure what you're doing. So to get in contact with the right people, to do the right way, I mean, you will get the most benefit from the sport. But it isn't really for everyone. The mental or the mindset that you need to have to step into the ring, even coming to the gym today, me and Trumpet was talking about, you know, the naysayers and the people back home that will continue to bad talk athletes, that will continue to bad talk you. You win a bronze medal at a world event.
Yeah.
They say you should have won silver. You should have won gold.
Can't please everybody.
Can't please them. So, and God forbid you lose.
Yeah,
You are the worst thing on the planet, right? So, it really isn't for everyone in terms of if you're weak-minded, it will break you. But the thing about boxing also helps to build that mental in you that you could transfer to different parts of your life.
Sure.
You understand? So, again, it isn't for everyone, but it can be if you build that mindset.
And I think you made such a great point there. You know, that boxing mindset can shift into life in so many different ways. And one of the things that Michael said to me was, you know, things that you learn in boxing, you can put into life. You're going to learn so many things. The performance lab here, this business here, I completely run this the way that I ran my boxing career. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So I wanted to be the best at that. The same things you said earlier. Right? You want to be the best. No matter what it is you do. So that drive, that when I was competing, that drive that I had, you know, that discipline, that determination, that ambition is what we put into this.
Yeah, man, see, it's bearing fruit. Because I came here, I was like, yo, I like this. I mean, we have gyms in Trinidad, but when they come in and you walk in and you get the atmosphere, you get the feel here, you get the environment, it's like, yo, we need this back home. And even with yourself, on arrival, I really appreciate you, you know, being in contact with you, because, I mean, you wasted no time to encourage me. And you don't get that from a lot of people. And, you know, just having somebody like you around for boxers and for athletes and for people on a whole, I mean, it's something we need to cherish. Sure. So congratulations to you, I must say.
Thank you, sir. And I appreciate you too, my brother.
Man.
I appreciate you too. You are inspiration for those coming after you in Trinidad, those coming after you in the Caribbean, even those that are outside of the Caribbean that do want to accomplish the same thing as you, or even more, because I mean you've set such a great pace, such a great tone. The first man in the Caribbean to win a bronze, then you made it to the Olympics. You dream of that, you know. So congratulations on all your success, and it was a pleasure to have you here in the Cayman Islands. A pleasure to have you here in the Performance Lab.
I'll be back. For sure. I'll be back.
We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. And you know that in your future you also want to produce gyms and stuff like this. So, you know, I'm always there with you when you're ready, rock and roll.
You'll be getting that call, man.
Yeah, success breeds success.
For sure.
Success breeds success.
That's very true.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Much appreciated. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, man.
Much blessings.
Are we good?
I was trying to catch you in the corner, but I saying time because
we could have
went
went
literally.
that was like just let me get that side first so I can stop recording.
I'll start recording.
Thank you, sir. Yep.